Hello, my name is Trydar. Welcome to part 3 of the Basilica Nova tutorial. Let's pick up right where we left off. Okay, so last time we had just finished with the bottom layer of the entablature and some work on the inside, so let's continue on to the next phase. Let's start right up here on the center line at the pediment, and we can see that we're putting in some cobblestone and diorite here to extend up the 3 squares we have there for the coffers. But around front we want to do an upside down course of stone brick stairs, just wrapping all the way around like so, then around the corner here, and of course the diorite abruptly ends here, as do the stairs. And if you want to, you can I don't suppose you need this block. That could be probably a full block. And then the stairs can just stop there. Behind that, we can see we've got a bit of cobble and some stone bricks, cobble, and diorite here for the side arches. And one last block of glass right here for the window. 2 upside down cobblestone stairs on either side of that. And then just mirror that pattern there and repeat it again here. And then for the second and third window, repeat the same pattern. Over here for the roofing detail at the back here, just extend this pattern up and it's diagonal, just like so. And of course we have the repeating pattern of the tiles for the roof. Deep slate tile slabs, and the full blocks are red nether brick. Let me give you a good top down on that. And of course we've got the filler blocks behind that. You don't actually have to place those. They're just there to help you count. Over here, of course, we've got cobble, and there's diorite behind this, but I don't know if you need that. That could just be any block, probably. That looks like some leftover when I was working on the half dome for the apps back here. So for that, I think that's going to be mostly upside down quartz stairs. Let's leave that for a moment, go back to the front here, and now take a look at everything from the interior. So, upside down quartz stairs right here at the front. And we want to trace those around and just bend them around like so. Of course, they stop over here where we have the barrel vault. And that looks like additional roofing material back there. Oh, yeah, that's right, there is. Okay. So we do have a couple of red nether brick blocks here, and that's because we have a very low section of our roof over the barrel vaults that's dipping down just right there. Let's see here at the front. So let's take a closer look here, and now we see the simple pattern here for the lapis and the calcite for the barrel vault, and it's rib vaulting. We have the cut copper right here for the window. And over here, of course, we have the same pattern we just put down, but reversed. And then on the inside, we have the upside down quartz stairs here on 3 sides of the little bit of the entablature that's sitting on top of the columns. And then for the other windows, we want to, this same pattern we did right over here. You want to repeat that for a second, and then a third time. All right, so we have upside down quartz stairs here. And then we just want to bend these all the way around, upside down, around the circle of the apps here. And that's going to be our center line. Right there, and I think that's all the relevant details for that phase, so we will go on to the next one. All right, so here at the front on our center line, we have diorite, and then behind that we have some cobblestone coffers that we're putting in right here, right there, to seal off the 3 large coffers on the ceiling of our decorative pediment. Then diorite along here, turning the corner, going this way, turning the corner again, and just stopping here at the cobble. All right, now over here we have a couple of slabs. Note the slabs here. That's because we have a cornice, a decorative cornice, that's going to be coming down on top of these arches here. So take note of that. Make sure to install those. The detailing, there is some cobblestone slabs here, by the way. We have a full block and then a slab right there. And then we have our arch. Be finishing shortly. You can see how that's done there with the diorite and the cobble. Then over here we have the same detailing that we just talked about doing. Right there. And then repeat the same detail for the arch here for the second window, the detailing here for the buttress, the arch for the third window, and the detailing back here for this buttress, which comes up against our little roof line that we've been building for a while now. Just like so. All right, so let me give you a top down here of this section so you can see the detailing. Right there, and then we're extending the cobblestone up here along the apse. And you can see we're putting in lapis behind that, but we'll bookmark that and we'll take a look at that for the interior. So back here at the front along the center line, straight run of lapis. Turn the corner right there, continue on here, and then you can see we have double runs of calcite here. That's because our vault is starting to flatten out a little bit. Just like that. And you can see behind that we do have some roof tiling that we're putting in there. Let me give you a view from the front here so it'll make a bit more sense. So you can see from the filler blocks all the counts for that stuff. Let me give you a closer look in here. Just a simple pattern of the tiles for the roof. Right there. And then we also have more roof tiling coming in right here for this section as well. So let me give you a good top-down glance of that. And let's take a look at it closer in profile. So down here we can see the barrel vault is taking shape. Everything should look symmetrical on either side of this. Just right there. And then behind that we have the filler blocks and the lapis here. Right there, so the other side of the second barrel vault. And back here we have the detailing for the roof tiles. As you can see here, I cut the roof line as close as I could to the barrel vault. So it didn't look too out of proportion from the top. So back over here, you can see you want to repeat that pattern again for the second barrel vault, this section of roofing, and the third barrel vault exactly the same. And then, of course, back here we have more roof tiles and everything again. And then here we want to just wrap the lapis around just like so, just straight behind the cobble, just really close, right there. And that's all there is to that particular phase. Let's go on to the next one. I would like to try and finish the building today. We'll have to see how that goes. It depends. So here on the top of the coffers, just roof the entire thing off with some stone bricks. Just like that there. If you want to, you could replace these stone bricks here. Right there. If you have a little extra, if you want to replace that with perhaps some extra waxed cut copper, just like we used here for the door, if you want to put that up there, that would look pretty nice. That's probably something I should have done, but it's one of those places I kind of forget. So here now we're building the standard Corinthian entablature design that I do. We're doing the dentils here with the cobblestone slabs. You can see just start one right here along the center line and then space them out every other block just like so. One there on the corner. Just like that there, all along, just wrapping them around every other block until you get to this point here where we just stop. All right. So back here, let's take a look. Let's take a look here first. So we can see we've got this little pattern. It's going to be extending up, just repeating, but moving over as it goes, with the cobblestone and stone bricks, full blocks and half slabs, just like so. Behind that, we have, you remember in part 1 I talked about the flying buttresses. Well, these are where the buttresses connect down to the building. Of course, you can see they also connect out here to the vertical buttresses on the side here as well. But of course, this wall here is thick enough that we don't have to extend these buttresses out any further than we already have. Because the vertical space in here isn't great enough to warrant that. That would be a pure Gothic build, but we're not. This is just a very nascent flying buttress, a very round Roman one. So we want to do the roof tiling pattern here, and build out the buttress like you see done here. So I'll go very slow around this, so you can see this from enough angles to replicate it. We'll take a top-down look in a moment. Right there. All right, so bird's eye top down. A little closer. I think that's good enough. And we can see, we'll take a look at, well, I don't suppose we can escape it. We're going to have to try and cover interior and exterior on this one pass. So we can see behind here we have the top of the barrel vault taking shape, just like so here. We have the outside arch with the diorite being finished now. This arch we've been building from that block down there is now completed. We're just now putting a sort of pseudo-decorative pediment on top of it. Remember, it's not the front of the building, so we don't have to spend too much money to make it look very nice. We want to be spending all our money on the inside. That's why we're using the expensive calcite. So we can see here, we've now got the ribs. Let me just lower down here. We can see we've got the ribs taking shape. We've got this arch here, and then another arch here. But the barrel vaulting in between this on the actual Basilica Nova, this is like octagonal coffered space. But we only have a few blocks. We can't replicate that. So for this one, my idea was, you have to imagine this building didn't fall down, but it stayed standing into like the 1200s, which it didn't, but just imagine. And it was renovated. And during that time, they had to repair some of the vaulting, so they put in some nice rib vaulting to fix everything. Quite nice, I think. But you can see here that the real key just to make rib vaulting is to whatever square or rectangular space you have. We'll see that again when we start doing the large vault up here. But all you have to do is, we're really just making an arch here from this, following that line over this way to connect to the other corner. And we're just kind of making an X out of arches. But of course, they're arches at an angle. Sort of like, some transverse arches. But of course, the arches pass through each other. We get this nice little X shape. You see? I hope that makes some sense. But anyway, that's a good tip to how to build one of these. If you can't do it in the air, another tip is to draw it on the ground, and then down here you could do your little, try and draw a little, try and draw a little X on the ground to connect pier to pier, and then raise it up and bend it around your vaulted section. But anyway, be that as it may, just a little digression. So let me give you a good top-down view of this entire sequence. We can see once we get to that point here, we are mirroring all of that again. Right here. We'll take a lower down pass in a moment. Let's just get the top sections first. and then all the way to the back. It's a little bit complicated because, as you can see, I made the roof tiles very tight to the barrel vault. So let's take a closer, lower down pass here for the entire sequence. Looking from the outside in, we'll do the inside out in a moment. You can see here we're repeating all the sections. And it's only a little different back here at the back, where we have the roof tiles and, of course, the bottom part of the flying buttress being tied into the walls. All right, so back over here. Let's actually go back to the front now because we're looking at the inside. So we have these upside down quartz stairs right here for the Corinthian entablature. Every other block, just like so, bending the lapis around. And then we want to, of course, connect all our calcite there in the middle to complete the arches and the rib vaulting. Then here we have just a couple of stairs. Now, some of these are going to look, well, you can see here, it's because we have our pattern here for the Corinthian entablature is every other block, but our columns are 2 blocks wide. So that means we kind of had to, you know, I played around with placing the stair here, but it didn't quite look right. So it's one of these things. It looks okay if you don't look too close. You won't notice that we're trying to put a, well, it should really be a 3-block sequence into 4 blocks. So, and it looks like there's some leftover chiseled blocks behind that from a previous, from the first time I built it. I built it out of just plain materials, cobble and diorite on the interior, and then I went back and updated it with the lapis and the calcite and everything. So that's why there's a couple of extra blocks, chiseled stone bricks that don't need to be there. That can just be cobble or any sort of filler block. All right, and here for the apse, couple more stairs. And then just every other block right around here. You can ignore the chiseled blocks behind that. That can just be cobble. All right, so there is our center line. And I think that's pretty much all there is to take a look at, I think. I didn't take a look at the side view enough, did I? Well, let's make sure. Let's just creep along the side here. Because this is kind of a big and complicated phase, so we can't go too fast. Like that there, turn the corner, the bottom of the buttress there. And then over here for the apse is just straight cobble. But then we have upside down cobblestone stairs starting here. Well, not there, but here. And then wrapping around right here. They change direction right here. And then they just wrap around right there. All right. Next phase. All right, detailing for the Corinthian entablature. We've got the chiseled stone bricks right there. And then in front of those, on the chiseled stone bricks, we have the cobblestone walls and then cobblestone stairs in between those to round out the dentils. Just like so. And we want to repeat that pattern until we get to the edges where we're going to have some blocks kind of floating. Right there. And then just kind of tuck everything into the corner. Back here, we just only have room for 1 stair, so that can face any direction you want it to. And then just bending around here. We have just a random floating stair right here, any direction. Right there, and then turning the corner again here. And then kind of squishing the entire thing, and it just kind of stops right there. Then behind that, you can fill that with cobblestone, and it's all filler blocks right through there. All right, so here we have the next part of the flying buttress. Now this one's kind of an attached buttress because it's right up here against the wall, but it still needed to be there, so. And then turning the corner here, we want to take a look at the next section of the roof tiling. It's just a repeating pattern being extended up and back. Right here, let's take a look at the side now. We have this pattern here, just going up at a 1 to 2 block ratio on either side, right there, with the stone bricks and the cobble behind it. And the very top of the barrel vault being finished off now, you want to just cap that off with lapis, and then just a couple of blocks of diorite here, because remember we have these light shafts with just one block of glass right there. All right, so let me go back to the front here. Let's take a top-down view and slide over the entire thing. So you can see here we have, once you've done one of those, the others are the same, the roofing for the barrel vaults. And in between those, we have the bottoms of the flying buttresses. I wonder why there's extra space there. That's interesting. I almost think this should be filled up with full blocks. It probably should be. Let's keep an eye on that. That might be a small error we'll have to go back and fix. All right, so let's go back and take a look now from the side, a little bit closer in. Right here, just along the side of the building. So, one of the more complicated roofs I've done on a building. So, it's going to take some time to get through. Detail here for the buttress, of course. All the buttresses have to have the same design. Like so. Let's go back to the front here and take a little bit closer look along the side right here. I almost think that stone brick should be cobbled too. Let's keep an eye on that. We might have to fix that. So back here, on top of all the upside-down cobblestone stairs, go around and place an arc of diorite right on top of that. And that's our center line, so we'll bookmark that there. Go back here all the way to the front. And any filler block you want to behind that. And on top of the quartz stairs, the upside-down dentils that we placed down, we want to do a full run of upside-down quartz stairs. Just like you see here, just straight across the arch there, then just a little bit here for cut out for this little piece of entablature, another straight run, another piece of entablature here, and a straight run, and another piece of entablature here, which goes all the way back into our apse here at the back. Just like so. And then behind that, there's probably some extra calcite or something. Behind that, you can just place cobble filler blocks. We do want to have the cut copper done here, though, because if you remember back down there, we have some more windows that would go up here in the clerestory. Right here. So once you do one of those, all the other windows are just the same. And let's get a good top-down view of where we're at for the entire building here. A lot going on in this because we're still doing interior, but we're also having to do roof on the side as we go. So it's more complicated than a typical building I might do. But now we can walk under our nicely completed barrel vaults that we have here with the rib vaulting and everything. You can see how we have the calcite making just a big X on it. That's really all rib vaulting is. It's not any I mean, there are variants of this. There's like web vaulting and fan vaulting and a whole bunch of other more complicated vaulting. But, you know, Minecraft, uh, it really looks best when we stick to the basics, which is just making some basic rib vaulting here. Looks quite nice, I think. I'm happy with it anyway. That's a pretty big milestone, though. So we've gotten those completed. We've been building the bottoms of those for quite a while now, and I think that's good enough for that one. Let's go on to the next phase over here. So we're putting on the cornice now for the Corinthian entablature, and we're going to be doing that with full blocks of stone bricks right on top of all the dentils, and then just upside down cornice of stone brick stairs. Just like that, all the way around the front facade. Just like so, following the cursor there with the crosshairs. Just straight around, bending the corners until we get back here, where we just bend it around and then just shove it into the cobble up here. Because, you know, this is on the side of the building at the roof. Nobody can see this. So we don't have to make it, you know, too special. We can just stop it right there. Back here, detail for the flying buttress. A little bit of diorite cobble and stairs right there. And then behind that, I think we're going to have a roof section on this. So you might want to go ahead and place down the little checkerboard cobble pattern that we have going on here. Right there. And then you can see everything behind that is just, you know, filler blocks. Or just open space. Alrighty. And, oh, I see. Hold that thought. Let me skip a phase and check something. Oh, okay. Whoops. Yep. All right. We have something to fix. So for the windows here, when I thought this is actually the correct way to build it. With the stone bricks and everything. There should be another run of stone bricks coming through here. Well, I just knocked that out. We should have another run of stone bricks coming through here. And then back through, I don't know how I missed this. Back straight through here, I think, as well. Probably back through here. And there. Yeah. Yeah, all of this through here where the red is, that needs to be a line of stone bricks. Right through here, and then right through back there, I think. This is some fine detail work I just didn't finish, I think. Yeah, and that should end right there where that diorite is. You can go ahead and build the rest of flying buttresses if you want to. They're just the same pattern for all 4 of those. You see here? And here for the windows, we need to remove some blocks. We need to remove, what? That, and that, and maybe not those. We need to make it match. We need to make it match this. So we need to keep that and remove those. Yeah, it looks like I did have it following the line of... Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry about that. That's a little error. We're having to correct it along the way as we go. But anyway, take this central section here. You see the detailing I've done here for these windows, the stone bricks and everything, and the cutouts. They're the same on both sides. It's correct here for the middle one. It needs to be done the same way right here and here, and then here and here again. Because we can see this glass should not be right up against that there. That's a small mistake. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I always try and fix the buildings to not have these things, but you know, there's invariably something I will miss. It's not catastrophic. I mean, it's really just a fine detail thing. I mean, you could have just built it with a straight cobble if you wanted to, but you know, at least I did get that part of it right, but the other part wasn't quite right. But anyway, we can see here we have the red nether brick for the roof tiles just coming up, just the same pattern we've been doing. It's just being extended up here. Some filler blocks behind that. We've got some cobble here to outline the shaft for the light well here, right there. And then along the side here, we're doing the same patterning we've been doing, and it's getting ready to meet at a point here, right at the top. So let's look at all that from the side. Just like so. And I will leave you to correct my mistakes. There. I'm sorry about that. I hope I explained it well enough what to do to fix it. It's not a huge, you know, it's not going to ruin the build if it's not. It's just a little fiddly detail, really. It's just one of those things, though. I'll notice it when I'm doing the tutorial, and for some reason I didn't notice it, or I thought the building was finished. Anyway, here on top of the diorite, we put down, place right side up cobblestone stairs, reversing positions here, or directions, right there, and torch on the center line. So let's go back to the interior now. Straight run, lapis right across there, bit of calcite here. And then we have the interior detailing with the cut copper and the glass. We have the full blocks and the panes, just like we did down here for these windows. We're doing it again back up here at the top. And then turn the corner here. Calcite just like that. This is another good spot if you want to put down some torches to hide some lighting. And here is the correct section. In the middle here, we have no choice. We have to have this because of the roof height. But on the sides here, we can lower it down just a little bit to get just a little bit more light inside the building. Right there, calcite again, and the same detailing for the windows right there. Calcite here on the edge. And then here for the half dome, for the top of the apse at the back with the half dome, we have just straight lapis right across there. And then, of course, we have some ribbing in our half dome. Little fancy features. So we have just a bit of calcite there and back here along the center line. Just like so. And that's all there is to that phase. So next phase, we now have to do the pediment. The triangular section with the tympanum and everything. Of course, the tympanum is the recessed section inside the pediment, the triangular section where normally sculptures would be put, but because of the scale here, we're just going to put simple decorations. So here, right on the center line, behind the cornice, we want to do a straight run of cobblestone slabs, and then diorite behind that for the tympanum. Some people will say tympanum, but I like to slow it down. It's an elegant word, tympanum. So here we have little complicated details. If you've done any of my Corinthian builds before, you know that this is the raking cornice right here. And then we have the slabs here, cobblestone and then stone brick, and then full blocks behind that. And then slab, 2 full blocks, and then straight run of slabs. And a bit of diorite behind that. Turning the corner, straight run of cobble. Right there. And then detailing here for the roof tiling. And oh, it looks like I may have missed a couple of slabs. Let me go over here and check that. Oh, yep. Okay. Oh, goodness. Okay, down here, you need 2 more deep slate tile slabs. And then, we really should have another, that should be a slab down there, too. And then I think that's going to end up being a filler block because of the, that over there. But here we want to do just a flat checkerboard section of roof tiles right here. This section was a little awkward. There really wasn't any way to do something that looked that nice with this small section of roofing. So we just went with the flat section there for that. It'll be okay. We don't have to worry about actual drainage in Minecraft. But we want to extend the cobblestone around here, just right on top. It was in front of the stairs here, but it's on top of the slabs now, right here. Just right on top of that. And turning the corner again, right on top of that there, and then just straight into the wall. Extend up your flying buttress. We want to connect now the buttress here with the diorite, the cobble, and the stairs. You can go around to your other buttresses and connect those as well, right there, just straight to the wall. Or buttress 2, 3, and 4. Right there. Going back here, let's now take a look at what's almost a finished roof section. We want to keep extending up with the cobble, the light wells. Right there we have. And extend up the roof tile pattern, just like so. And we want to cap off our little decorative pediment type thing, pseudo pediment we have around here. You can see it just meets at a very satisfying conclusion right here, just right above the arch. Nice little detail. And then we're going to put a little ridge line on top of that roof, and that'll be done. So you want to do the second section the same, and the third section the same. All right, let's go back, and now let's, well, in view of what I've said for that over there, let's only take a look here at this middle section. We can see here, this is the correct way to do that. This should be done like that there. And this one should be done like that there. I think we're above the error section of that there with that extra cobble that shouldn't have been there for that one. So remember, you want to build it like this here. Right there with a little stair right there. All right, so over here on the other side of the buttress, we now want to put on the roof tiling for the half dome. And we're doing that with full blocks of deep slate tiles and a bit of lapis behind that. We'll take a look at the interior in a moment. Note the blocks of cobble here and here right on the center line. All right, back over here, straight run of lapis right across there. In the actual Basilica Nova, there would have been more windows like that over here. But because I've elected to change the orientation of the building and slap a Corinthian facade on it, this is where the pediment has to go, so we can't have windows there. But I imagine we would have some sort of big mosaic or something up here as well, instead, perhaps. But you know, Minecraft, we're just doing straight run of lapis. Here we have calcite. Detailing for the windows. A bit more calcite and window detailing, and then calcite and window detailing. And then here for our half dome, remember we have some of these blocks going to be overhanging, just like so. Extend up your calcite rib here, overhang that block there, and one block there along the center line. And then that's all there is for that particular phase. Go on to the next one. So here, right along the middle of the tympanum, go ahead and lay in a straight run of diorite. And here we have all the patterns we put down. You can see they're being extended up this way, just like that here with the full blocks, and then the double half slabs. And then here we have more full blocks and half slabs. Full block there, 2 half slabs on either side of that for the detailing inside the tympanum for the pediment. And along the side here, we're going to have the footings for our little acroterion right there with those stone bricks. And then here we have roof tile detailing. That needs to be a slab back down in there, as do that and that. But otherwise, once we get above that, everything is fine again. Same detailing for the roof tile, like we've been doing. Right there. And of course, that's going in on both sides, so they're going to be extending up and meeting at a point right there along the roof ridge line. We're finished with this little section of roof over here. We just have this little decorative 2 blocks of dye right here. It's going to be built up. I'm pretty sure I did something like that for the dye right there. And then back over here to cap off our flying buttresses, we just want to put down cobblestone and then stone bricks on the end here. You can go ahead and do that for all 1, 2, 3, and 4 of your buttresses right there to connect those into the wall. And then back here at the front, we want to finish off the little roof ridge line here with just half slabs and then full blocks right here, and then this little cutout here for the light well. Just like so. And then if you want to, you can go ahead and finish off the dye right here with the little decorative finials we have on the side here. Alright, so let's take a closer look here now at the wall. Just some simple detailing, really. We're above the level where I made the mistake, so they should all look the same again. Back here for the roof tiles for the apse. Just like so. You can see we have the roof tiles just right up against the interior of the dome, so we didn't waste much space with that. Just a couple of filler blocks here and there. Let's hold that thought there and come back to the front here. Straight run of lapis. And then calcite, as you see done here. This is the lowermost block of what's going to be our big X, our big X's that we're going to have here for the rib vaulting, in between the very large groin vaults here at the top. And simple detailing for the window, just straight up right there. Calcite detailing right there. Same deal for the windows. Repeat the calcite detailing again. Same deal here for the sides. And then calcite there, and then lapis here. We got a couple of overhanging blocks right there and there. And then that's all there is to that. A lot of pigs down there. Anyway. I think that's all there is to say about that one. Let's go on to phase number next. So here, somewhere along the center line, that's probably it. Straight run of dye right there. And as you can see here, we are extending these patterns over. We have hints of dentils here coming in every other block right there with those torches, full blocks. Otherwise, we have the cornice being extended up here with the full blocks, and then the double half slabs in between those. And then we have the same sort of thing going on here with the cobblestone right there. We back off a bit here. We can see these patterns are going to continue until they make a nice little satisfying triangle. And of course, the dentils we have here, those 3 I pointed out, they're meant to echo the ones there along the Corinthian entablature. Alright, so a bit of dye right here for the base for our acroterion. Right there, the ridge line and the roof tiling, just like so. Filler blocks behind that, or just empty space. Cobblestone full blocks and slabs right here. And another layer here for the buttress. Because it's Roman times, we're using nice, thick, chunky buttresses. But over time, and in Gothic, these would become more delicate. But you know, there's a prototype of that. So over here, of course, we see this little door right here and there. What we're going to be doing here is another arch, just like we did back down there. Remember that arch? We're going to be doing it again up here. So pay attention to that. Like so, here for the second bay of windows. And the third bay of windows up here in the clerestory. All right. And then back along here, I already told you, you can go ahead and finish off these little decorative finials with that extra block of diorite right there in the middle. And then that means all that is done. All these side little projections and complicated roofing we had to do for that is finished. And we're now only working on the front pediment and the central sections. Down the nave, as it were, of the basilica. Well, what will come to be called a nave later on anyway. I don't know if they called it that quite yet. Alright, so here we have the detailing for the roof tiles, for the half dome at the back for the apse. Just like so. Let's leave bookmark there. Slide back to the front. Straight run of lapis right across the front there. Hang in a couple of blocks of calcite here. Because remember, we're forming our arches and our rib vaulting again. Same detailing for the windows. And for the calcite and the rest of the windows. We'll just slide around, take a slow look at that. A couple of overhanging blocks there. And then another two here. All right, next phase. Diorite for the tympanum. And extend up and over these same patterns we've been doing. I've said all I can say about it, so I'm just going to take a real close look. Just repeating patterns being extended up and over. Here at the front, a couple of upside down stairs. Right there. It had to be a full block back there. For that one, though. But I suppose you can, if you can get your stairs to wrap around there, you can change that if you want to. But it's fine being a full block. Same detailing for the roof tiles, just up and over. Just slubber on some cobblestone right here to cover over all that. And let's take a look now at the exterior of the windows. Let's just slide along here and take a look at it. You can see here we've got a nice thick connection of the walls and the buttresses together and everything. Being good Romans, they would have overbuilt it quite a lot. You can see something similar, some sort of transverse version of this at an angle. It's actually on the Hagia Sophia too, if memory serves. Most people missed that, though. It's easy to miss. I mean, the exterior of the building is kind of a disaster, so it's just easy not to notice it. Because they actually put in too little buttressing in the building, if you can believe it. And that's why the exterior looks as the way it does, because they had to overbuild it very quickly so it wouldn't fall down. There we are. Alright, so that was the detailing for the roof tiles on the apps and everything. As I said, all this should be finished by now, like so. Let's now take a look at the interior. Straight lapis across there, and then here's the detailing for the calcite. Alright, and then here for half dome at the back. Got some overhanging blocks here though. Try and mark those. And that's all there is to that phase. Let's go on to the next one. Alright, so as you can see here, we're just kind of doing, the repeating patterns I've talked about. Diorite inside the tympanum. Otherwise, just extend everything up and over. And if you want to go ahead and finish the decorative acroterion right here, I'm pretty sure I did something like that, just out of diorite. For those, for both sides, for that one over there and this one here. And that'll be finished. Roof tiles up and over, just like so. Cobblestone, stone bricks, just like here. Last little bits of the buttresses. And then the arches up here at the top. With their associated windows. Actually, I suppose here would be a good place if you wanted to perhaps knock these blocks out and place some upside down cobblestone stairs. There. That's not necessary, it's optional, but it's just something I'm just noticing. Little fine details in this building. It's quite a big building, so the finer the details, the more they escaped my notice. And, oh, looks like some of the glass escaped my notice too. Unfortunate. Nope. All this here should be stone bricks. Yep. Okay, well that's interesting. So I screwed up the top of the middle window, but the side windows are the ones that are correct now. Oh, goodness sake. Anyway, that's not too bad. You can fix that pretty easily though. And just make that one like this one. I have quite a number of things I need to go back and fix on this thing. Alright, so here detailing for the roof tiles for the half dome on the apps. That's a lot to say. Like so. So throw down the bookmark. Back here, straight lapis across there, and then let's take a slow panning look for the detailing for the top, for the ceiling. You can see here we have the lowest sections of our rib vaulting slowly fanning out at a 45-degree angle. It's just the same thing we did down here, except we're now doing it right up here at the top. And the interior of this is correct. It's just the exterior at the top here had some problems, apparently. Nobody will see it from the ground, or, unless they know what they're looking for. But you'll be able to fix that from all the instructions, the extra instructions I've given you, so you will end up with a better version of this building than I have. All right, we got some floating blocks there, here, and there. All right, next phase. I think we're close enough. I'm gonna try and finish the video today. We may go a little long though. All right, so here finishing off the tympanum there with the diorite, just a little bit more right there at the top. Stand up the patterns there. They're just all gonna meet right there at the top, just like so. You know how the roof tiles go by now. Same thing over here. We do have a little bit extra. Please note, we do have a little bit extra over here that doesn't follow that pattern. It's just how it worked out with the arch we have forming below here. There's a really tight fit, so we had no alternative. Right there, and this here with these last two stairs right there, this is officially the last thing for the flying buttresses. Those are now completely finished. And then we have the window sections behind there, right there, and even more glass that shouldn't be there on the central section. Ignore that and build it like that. That extra glass just make it cobble. Detailing here for the roof at the back. Take a look now from the inside. Lapis again. And then more lapis and calcite. Take a look from below real quick. Uh-oh. We shouldn't have any exposed cobble on the interior. I hadn't noticed that. Oops. That should be calcite. Yeah. This is extra red I just put down. That needs to be calcite. I'm sorry. We shouldn't have any gray blocks being exposed on the interior. If we do, then that's a mistake. All right, next phase here. Take a look. You can see all the patterns are coming to their conclusion here at the top, where they will just get squished together. That criteria on there should be finished. Detailing for the roof tiles, you know how that goes. And this section over here, note the extra cobblestone we have placed here and there. It's very tight up against this interior arch, so we had no alternative. Alright, and then just cobble for the wall, filler blocks behind that. Build the arch and the cobble like you see down here. Alright, turn the corner, detailing for the half dome. Throw down our bookmark there. Now let's go back to the interior. Lapis and calcite. Right across there for this big arch. And then here, let's take a look from below. Here you can see the ribs stretching out in the middle to meet each other, going down the nave of the basilica. All right, so perhaps top down would be best for this section here. And we can just slide right over it. Repeating pattern for all three. All three of the big groin vaults at the top are exactly the same. All right, detailing here for the half dome though, and its associated ribbing. Take a look from below. Now replace all the gray blocks with more calcite. Right there. And let's just take a view from down here. And that's what everything should look like at this particular phase. Of course, if we were building this in reality, we couldn't build it like that, which is the ribs hanging in free space. We would have to have a lot of wooden scaffolding holding up from the bottom all of this and the vaulting and everything as we were installing it. And it wouldn't be until we had the entire thing finished and secured and then roofed over as well that we could remove the scaffolding on the interior. But you know, Minecraft, we can have things floating, so that's good for us. Over here, let's take a look now, next phase, detailing, finishing off the Corinthian facade here. If you've done any of my other Roman stuff, you can probably do this in your sleep. Because I keep recycling it, because, you know, there's nothing wrong with it, so. We'll just keep going with it. We want to put down a ridge line of stone bricks and then stairs, just like so. And then here, detailing, we want to cover up the arches as well. All right, and then a layer of stone bricks, and then capping off the arches here on the side, just like so. It's just a straight run of stone bricks, and then punctuated with the diorite. To finish off the side arches there, and all that section should look something like this. All right, back over here detailing for the half dome now. Almost finished with this thing. Just like so. Let's go ahead and just take a complete look at that. Right there with its associated calcite ribbing. Let's take a look at that from below. And we also have all the ribbing in the building is now coming to its conclusion. So if you want to go ahead and connect those, we'll take a look at it from the top in a moment. We're finishing off this arch here, last run of calcite right there. Go ahead and connect all the middle arches with the calcite, like so. And on top of that, let's take a top-down view. With the lapis and the calcite, we want to do this pattern here and just repeat it 3 times. All right, here, bit of diorite here for the foundation for the acroterion. At the top, the big statue. And then just a ridge line of cobblestone slab behind that, tying that off over here with 5 full blocks, but then otherwise we want to do an upside down cornice of cobblestone stairs. And then over here we want to have what's going to be sort of a diagonal raking cornice of stone brick slabs. Right there, and then just straight runs of cobblestone stairs all along the sides till we get back down here to these corners. And then just stairs here till we get back to the full blocks. And then here is the topmost section. For the half dome on the apse. Remember, we got a bit of glass here for a light well. And then at the top here, we're capping off all of our groin vaults here at the top with big slabs of lapis, and then one slab of glass here in the middle for our light wells. We have 4 light wells at the top. We've got 1 here on the half dome, and then 3 here for the vaulting. Just like so. Take a big top-down view of that. Bunch of filler blocks behind that. Whatever you want to put down or just leave them as air, you can do that. Just like so. And then I'm going to break that one. So we can take a look at now our completed interior. Yeah, you wouldn't think so, but this is the interior complete. Just like so. Very nice space. One of my very favorite buildings from the ancient world. It's too bad that it's completely fallen down, pretty much, except for like these 3 vaults over there on the side. All the rest of it's gone. But there was enough for us to figure out mostly what the rest of it looked like. Like the bottoms of the rib vaults were still there. Well, the vaulting anyway was still there on some of it, just the lowermost sections. But all the rest of it had fallen down a long time ago. So we're done with the interior. That's the load off. We're actually, except for the acroterion here at the front, we're now only working on the central roofing section of the building. So we are indeed in the home stretch now. So for the base of the acroterion, just put on upside down cobblestone stairs. Right there, full block in the middle. Back here we have another tympanum. Right there, just like we did back down here. For this, and over there on the sides, we're going to be doing one of those again up here. A couple of half slabs. And you can see now we have some red nether brick coming in for the bottoms of, you guessed it, more roof tiling. So let me give you a good top-down view of what this entire sequence is going to look like. Lots of filler blocks back there. But let's just take a look at, oops, back over here. Let's just take a look from the side, right along here at the block patterns. And then we're almost done with the half dome. A bit more glass there, though. And then right here in the middle for the light wells, remember to leave these open. Right there in the middle. And we'll be extending them up through the building. Through the roof, anyway. All right, next stop for the acroterion. So I'm going to show you the base of the acroterion. This now has its own video, the acroterion short, that shows you a very quick time lapse of how to build one of these. So I'll take a quick look at it here, but otherwise it has its own video if you need more detailing that I'm going to end up providing. So I'm getting to the point where I can't really talk much more, so I'm going to kind of look at things for the roof, and I'll only say something if it's important. So we can finish the video today. Because the main reason these end up being hour-long or so parts is because after that I can't talk much anymore, so yeah. We're just going to do a lot of looking, I think. It's roof tiling. You know, it's nothing you haven't done down here. It's just more repeating patterns, but a little bit different. And the final bit of detailing here for the dome at the back. The half dome over the apse. If you notice, I added ribs on the exterior as well to echo the ones that we put on the inside. Just a little detail. It's not really something they would have done in the Roman period, but you know, just imagine they renovated the building and had to spruce up some things. Stand up the light wells in the middle. And then that's all there is to it. Next section, top-down view first. Acroterion close-up. And let's just slowly pan around the roof. Decorative finials here. This one is the same as this one. All right, next phase, top-down view first. You can see the roof sections are very modular and repeating. It looks confusing at first, but that's because we have to build the lower roof valleys first before we can get up to the peak. And of course, they're kind of contour shaped. They still have to be these pitched roofs, but you know they have to follow the vaulting below there. So, acroterion, and slowly pan around the roof. Pan around the edges, and then we'll take a look at the interior. All right, now let's go back up here, take a closer look. Like that there. Bird's eye view. And next phase. Almost done. See how we have the roof ridges on top reflecting the rib vaulting below with the cobblestone? Just sort of a hint on what's inside of the building. All right, acroterion. Right there. And let's pan around the roof. I think you've got the hang of it now. You can kind of see everything. If you built it right, everything is just going to be right up here at the top with the repeating patterns, just like so. I'll just scan along the top here. Right there. We have to leave an extra hole back here too for the light well, because if we block it off here with something, there won't be any light down there. Thanks to the you know, wonderful Minecraft lighting engine. Right, Acriterion. And we have to do the same thing up here as well. We have to poke up. Well, no, actually we don't. Okay, that's because I copied and pasted that, isn't it? Yeah. All right, well, that should really be, let's fix that. Slab, thank you, slab. We can put down a cobble slab. Yeah, okay. We can go ahead and just cap that off like that. And you can see here, right across the top, we're doing the ridge lines with the full blocks and the half slabs, just like so. They're going to meet at points right up here. Make sure you don't cover up your light wells. But otherwise, everything is going to meet right up here at the top, just like that. It's a simple repeating design of a roof, but it looks more complicated than it actually is. But if you'll break everything down, instead of kind of divide and conquer it, it's a lot easier than you might think. Alright, so as you can see, all that's pretty much the same from one end to the other, except back down here. I had to leave that hole for the light well. We do have to have this hole here at the back, but at the front we don't need it. Alright, and interesting, oddly enough, once we have done that phase here with the roof ridge lines, the roof of the Basilica Nova is complete. We just have a little bit more for the Acriterion. It's just a little bit taller right here at the front for the head and the wingtips. Right there. And then 2 blocks for the wingtips right here and there. And once you have done that, your Basilica Nova will be complete.